Hello, I'm DPG. Welcome to my horror pop culture podcast, as I like to call. And today we are going to talk about one of my favorite series ever. Any guesses? Castiel. That's right, Supernatural. Kansas. When you're Kansas, what do you think of? You think of Supernatural, right? One of the best shows on TV. Darn right. Gets me pumped. Yeah! But today we're going to go deep into the 300th episode, the history I have with it, and its connection with horror. So let's get into it. Well, first off, the 300th episode was a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing. I loved it. They brought back John Winchester, played by the great James D. Morgan. It just seems like Supernatural is doing what a lot of things are doing today, nostalgia. Just a couple seasons ago, they brought back Charlie, played by Felicia Day, and Bobby Singer, and others, and of course Mary in the beginning of season 12, Mama Winchester. And well, what happened was they were hunting, and they did this spell, and somehow brought their dad back from the dead. Well, he was in heaven, because first he was in hell. Remember when he sold his soul to the yellow-eyed demon, aka Azazel, the Prince of Hell, and he helped the boys kill him, so he sacrificed himself, and that's been in heaven. So he's been in heaven since season 2. So for about 12 years he's been in heaven, because if a lot of people don't know, he was supposed to, unless you watch the series, that he was supposed to be the one that broke the first seal, but Dean broke it because he wouldn't not stop being tortured, so Dean became a torturer. So he came back and immediately started his connection with Mary. They have great chemistry. They were married, and it was a beautiful moment. It touched me. It was great to see them together, for the first time since episode 1, really. And, I know Sam and Dean saw their mom in season 1, too, after she passed, when her ghost killed that poltergeist that was haunting their old house, so-called home. And it was just a great episode. It just felt really good to see them all together. It was amazing. I was amazed by it. It was just a lot of fun. And, when he got brought back, it screwed up the flow of time. So everything was backtracking. Instead of Sam being Hunter, Sam was some mogul because he finished college, instead of going hunting with his brother. And Castiel forgot who he was. He's not going to forget who I am. He's my protector. He forgot who the boys were, because they're like this. They're tight. They're like brothers. That's their brother. And he hooked back up with Zachariah, who Dean killed. He said, I'm gonna kill you with a knife. And he killed him with a knife in season 5. And they brought that connection back. And so it's like everything was unraveling. So they had to send John back, with another spell to get everything back to normal. I thought that was a really cool, interesting new idea. I mean, I love the 300th episode. It reminds me a lot of the 200th episode, which I love. The musical. Don't tell anybody. I actually love musicals. But, these special episodes, you can keep going. I'm going to keep watching. Honestly, I'll tell you my personal history with the show. So I did not get into it in 2005, because way back then, Jensen and Jared were 24 and 26 respectively, I believe. Now they're in their 40s, and then my friends were like, "You need to get into it," and it just wasn't for me at that time. I couldn't just get into it. So in 2012, I tried to get into it, and my roommates were just like, "You shouldn't like a lame show like that," and I shouldn't listen to them. I should have been a fan, but peer pressure. I've grown a bit, but. In 2014, I watched season 9. I'm just like, whoa. So I watched season 10. And that's how season 8 was on there, and I loved season 8 through 10. It's my favorite trio of seasons. And I just fell in love with it. I loved it. And I watched it all after I watched 8 through 10, and then watched 11, and then 12, and today. And I'd probably rank 2's probably my favorite season. Probably like 2, 8, 9, 10, 4 and 5, 1, 6, 12 and 13, and then 7. Because 2 is my the Psychics. I mean, it was amazing. That 2-part is my favorite 2-parter. Other than the season 13 2-parter and the season 12 2-parter. There's a lot of 2-parters, 300 episodes. That's my personal history with it, and it connects so much with horror. And that's what really got me into it, because I'm a big slasher guy. I mean, you got the biggest slasher of all time in episodes in Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger playing Dr. Bob. And then you got Linda Blair being a cop, stopping heroin ghosts. It's amazing. It said, in that episode, it said, I'm in the mood for some pea soup. Because in Exorcist, her vomit was pea soup. That connection. And then Ted Raimi, an episode with Wishing Well, where he wished that Hope Girl would love him more than anything. That's amazing. Just because he was in Wishmaster. I mean, all those connections to horror and the monsters they fight, the vampires, the werewolves, the shapeshifters, ghosts. I mean, the first episode, the pilot, which is probably one of my favorite pilots of all time, they hunt that ghost, woman in white, a ghost so vile and doomed by society because she killed herself because her husband cheated on her and she drowned her children and she jumped off the ledge. It's amazing. Another one, another ghost, but yeah, ghosts and vampires. That vampire hunter that turns into all super vampire that's in the Predator. The connection with horror is just amazing. It's off the charts. I mean, how could you go any wrong? 300 episodes. I think it might be like The Simpsons and Family Guy and South Park, where called 20, 25 years, maybe 30 years. 30 years of Supernatural, 500 episodes. Could you imagine 500 Supernatural episodes with... I mean... the Jensen and Jared be in their 50s, but I think maybe they could do like a Next Generations, of hunters. They have like a hunter school and they train like hunters to be, as evil is always going to live on. That'd be an interesting idea. You can use it, guys. It's okay. It's limitless at this point. I mean, it's supposed to stop at season 5, and it saw how popular it could get. And I'm not one of those fans that would be like, well, I don't like it after season 5 because they're too good looking and they just use sex appeal with the women and guys. No. It's just the stories, the characters, the music, Baby, the car. I love that episode where it's all shot in the perspective of Baby. It's an amazing episode. I just can't get over how awesome the series is. I mean, it's probably the best horror TV show. I mean, I like American Horror Story. I like Santa Clara Died, very underrated. Slasher, The Following with Kevin Bacon. But this is by far the best. I mean, Jensen and Jared, they're staples in horror, with them being in the My Bloody Valentine remake that they reference in the show, and Jared being in Friday the 13th remake that they reference. They even reference the fact that Jensen was in Under the Red Hood because a gas station employee was wearing an Under the Red Hood shirt. I mean, so they're staples, and other genres crossovers with it, like when they go into the in season 6 where they go to an alternate dimension where they're the actors on the show and it's a TV show, so it's like super meta. And then you see that Jensen was in a soap opera, and then of course they make fun of Jared for being on Gilmore Girls in season 2 when they work on that. They work on that movie set with Gary Cole and Bob from that 70s show. I mean, everything connects. They bring everything they've done together, accumulated onto this mega epic show. So guys, If you guys never seen Supernatural, if you feel it's too melodrama for you, come on, check it out. It's amazing. I recommend it to everybody. Now, if you want me to talk about anything else in my podcast, anything, put a pin in the comments. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll give you guys another one next week. I'm thinking I'm going to talk about Freddy's Dead. I'm going to defend it because everyone seems to hate it. So check that out coming next week. You guys all have a great weekend.